Welcome back again with part 5 of the SBL paper, Planning and Decision Making, and our topic today will be about effective cost and management system. Let us try to highlight some important points of this topic. In the exam you may be asked to evaluate the effectiveness of current organization cost management and control systems. In your assessment, you will need to ask yourself, does it support strategic planning and decision-making? What is the weakness of current traditional approach? Finally, you may discuss the need for strategic approach. Also, you may be asked to evaluate techniques currently in use by the organization. For example, forecasting, budgeting, standard costing, and marginal analysis. Does it support achieve company strategic objectives? Now let's try to discuss the key difference between the traditional and strategic management accounting. The traditional management accounting is based on the cost reduction approach and cost controlling. It is a short-term focus, so will not be useful for strategic decisions. Its orientation is the internal focus. The common techniques are standard cost, traditional budget, statistical data, and performance evaluation. The strategic management accounting is a forward-looking rather than historical. It is long-term perspective based on financial and non-financial information. Its orientation is the external focus. The common techniques are activity-based cost, value chain costing, life cycle costing, competitor analysis, and balanced scorecard. For the decision-making, which one do you think is a realistic measure? Cash or profit? If a company's profits are $3 million out of its total sales of $300 million. So, what will happen if the company not receiving this cash? Especially if they are already operating with an overdraft. Would the cash flow position be far worse without this cash? Could it affect the decision-making? One of the modern and agile approach is the cash flow measures, which is based on net cash from operation, instead of profit or the non-cash metrics. It is a more effective measurement tool than the traditional approach. For example, applying the operating cash flow margin, instead of the operating profit margin. Also, the current liability coverage ratio, instead of using the current and quick ratios. Contribution analysis in decision-making process. The contribution analysis is based on variable costs as they are the relevant costs as far as decision-making is concerned. The analysis helps organizations to understand the contribution of a product to the net income. One of its common techniques is the marginal analysis. It could support the decision-making process in accepting or rejecting special contracts, closing, shutdown or continuation decisions. Consequently, the decision itself will focus on future costs and revenue, incremental cost, and cash flow. Another technique is the cost volume profit or the CVP analysis. This technique looks at the effects of differing levels of activity on the financial results. In other words, the changes in variable and fixed costs, volume, and so on. It supports the decision-making process in determine product mix decision, maximizing the use of production facilities and setting selling prices. One of the best common techniques is the contribution to sales or CS ratio. It is a measure of how much contribution is earned from each $1 of sales. Its basic formula as shown on this slide. Also, the basic formula of target profit by using CS ratio is including in the slide presentation. Breakeven analysis refers to the point in which total cost and total revenue are equal. The breakeven point could be in terms of sales revenue, or in units. It is one of the common pricing techniques. For example, the break-even pricing is the price at which total costs equal total revenue. In other words, where no profit no loss point. The break-even analysis involves calculating and examining the margin of safety for an organization based on the revenues collected and associated costs. So, what is margin of safety? It is about how much sales can decrease before a loss occurs. Also, it can be calculated in terms of units, percentage, and revenue amount. Now, would you like to learn how can all these measures and techniques be applied in the practice? You can visit our channel and watch this series episodes. Cost management. How to build your financial model. You can ask also for free Excel spreadsheets and templates. What about the forecasting techniques? One of the common forecasting techniques are linear regression, high-low method, and time series analysis. For further discussion about these techniques, please follow and watch our series about cost management. How to build your financial model. As part of strategy in action, and for better decision-making, companies could apply budgeting system for planning. The budgeting system could also play a vital role in reviewing and controlling strategic plans. The effective budgetary control requires precise and accurate forecasting, clear segregation of managerial responsibility, proper recording system, timely variance reports and enforce timeliness, and so on. The common approaches to budgeting and forecasting are rolling budget or rollover, incremental budget, zero-based budget and activity-based budget. For the exam scenario, try to focus on the strategic role of budgeting approaches, standard costing, and variances analysis. Again, for further discussion about these techniques, and how to apply it in practice, please follow and watch our series about cost management. How to build your financial model. Now, would you like a PDF copy of this video? So, you can read and print it. Just hit like for this video and write your email on the comments. I will try to send you a soft copy. For more discussion on this topic and other topics, please visit my LinkedIn page. Goodbye.